Hi, welcome to the National Critics' Choice Online News, and today here at Whisky Live 2013, please tell us more about the Balvenie latest product range.
Thank you, pleasure to be here. So today at Whisky Live we're serving the 12-year-old double wood. So it's called the double wood because it's aged in two different types of cask. First it's aged for 12 years in an ex-bourbon cask, and then it's given a finish or a little bit more maturation in a sherry cask. We're also serving our 17-year-old peated cask, which is a limited expression. It's almost run out, so this is one of the last chances to try some in Singapore. And we're having probably my favourite in our range today is the 15-year-old single barrel. So most whiskies are different casks battered together and then bottled, but this one's just from one barrel to the bottle.
What's the biggest challenge in making the 15-year-old versus the 17-year-old malt?
The challenge of making the 15-year-old, because it's single barrel, is each label actually is different. So it's not so much of a technical challenge in making the whiskey, but in terms of the rules and the laws, getting it into different countries when the label is always changing, you know, because there's a different cask number on every label, so you know which cask it's from, and there's also a bottle number on every label. That produces a little bit of a challenge.
Now, for our viewers who'd like to know, how long can they keep this particular product? Can they keep up to 20 years, 30 years?
If you've got a properly sealed bottle of whiskey and you're keeping it out of direct sunlight, out of excessive heat, and you're keeping it standing upright, you can keep it for decades. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, there's a question for our viewers is that why do you need to keep whiskeys standing upright? Why not lie down?
Like a bottle of wine, right?
Yes.
So wine you keep lying down. But you would know that with wine, when it lies down, you can get spoiled bottles. The bottles can become corked. But the reason we lie them down is because they can continue to develop and mature in the bottle. That development and maturation doesn't happen in a bottle of whiskey because it's a spirit, a much higher alcohol. You don't have the same living organisms ongoing interacting with the oxygen outside the bottle. So you can't get any advantage from lying it down, but it can still become corked. So we keep it upright because there's no advantage to lying it down, only a downside.
Great. And so the Balvenie, please tell us what's next for next year in 2014.
What's next coming up? We have a few things. You'll be seeing coming to Southeast Asia soon. You'll be seeing our 14-year-old Caribbean rum cask. We'll be launching the 17-year-old double wood as well. So we have the 12-year-old double wood here today, and actually we'll be tasting the double wood in the masterclass as well. The 17.
Okay, what will be one advice for first-timers who are going to try this wonderful product, the Balvenie?
I would say for people trying it for the first time, like trying any whiskey for the first time, you know, sit down, get comfortable, pour yourself a nice glass, don't add any mixers or ice, just have it neat or with a little bit of water, sip it, enjoy it, talk about it with friends.
And as they try it out for the first time, well, how much should they pour if they're not familiar with whiskey?
When I'm pouring a glass of whiskey at home, I will generally pour a little bit less than you typically get in a bar. I'll pour about 20 mil. The reason being I can, you know, if I want to try a few, I don't drink too much of one, I can move on to another. And, you know, if I decide I've had enough, I'm not going to waste it. So, you know, our product's not for gulping and chugging. It's for sipping and enjoying for the craft.
Now,
that's behind the whiskey.
As for connoisseurs, they like to find out what would go well for whiskey and food. Any recommendation?
Yeah, look, it's a big question. A lot of people ask me about whiskey and food. And matching them is actually much harder than matching food and wine because the high alcohol is more intense flavour. So it can be quite difficult. I would say experiment, play, enjoy. Avoid anything excessively spicy or bitter or sweet, you know, really strong, because it's going to hide some of the flavour of the whiskey. But other than that, I'd say match weights. So a lighter whiskey, in terms of character, would go with lighter food, and a heavier, more full-bodied whiskey would be better with, you know, more full-bodied food like red meat.
Okay, so right now, how can our viewers find out more information about the Balvenie?
Well, they can come to Whisky Live. But
do they have a website or Facebook as well?
But of course, we have a website. We're on Facebook. You know, we are a well-known brand, so there's lots of information out there.
Well, once again, thank you for joining us here at the National Critics' Choice.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.